New frame toppers. Hey everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my channel and my studio. Today I'm going to do a stamp, stencil, die cut, other things. It's a simple card, but it actually took quite a bit of effort to make it so. I think simple cards can be a little misleading because they can take time. But the thing is, it just means more crafting time for you. To see my card project, stick around. It's coming up next. Here's a look at the products I'm going to be using today, and this is a set that coordinates. It's called the Friendship Leafy Cluster. There are stamps, there are dies, there's a layering stencil, and there is a foil sheet as well that I am not going to be using today, but I'm looking forward to using this because I love this idea of a minimal leaf. It can go for any theme at all, and I also love when you have a stencil to help you add the color, and of course dies to cut things out. So let's get started with some stamping. I am just going to work with one of the little leaves today. So I'm going to take this off the sheet and I'm going to place this right in the center because I'm going to be ink blending and stamping and embossing, and we're going to do all the things. I feel like doing all the things today. All right. I have my grip mat in here. That is from Waffle Flower. It's going to hold my cardstock in place. I'm handling it just a little bit too much. So here I'm going to prime my stamp just because this is the first time that I have stamped with it. So we are going to get it primed, and let me bring in some anti-static powder from Simon Says Stamp. That just helps to cover up all my oily handprints that are probably everywhere on my cardstock. This is Neenah Classic Crest Solar White in the 110. I'm going to take my embossing ink and ink up this leaf really well. Bring the door down, and I'm going to use my Stampin' Bug and transfer that ink and repeat. And of course the grip mat holds it in place and it does not move so that we can, well, use the magical Misty as intended. All right, get a nice coating of ink. All right, let me grab my little folded piece of paper so I can pour my powder on. I think I'm gonna do this pretty Gilded from Brutus Monroe. And we'll just sprinkle this on and see how we did with our stamping. Oh, that's pretty. Maybe needed a little more down here at the bottom. Another thing I could have done first was, I guess I could have stamped, or I guess I could have dyed. No, this is good. You know how you sometimes second guess your order of things? I think that is going to be just lovely. All right, let's funnel you back in. Try not to spill. Got some coming out here. Oh, off camera a little. It's not the neatest way to do pouring back in, but I've been doing it this way since the beginning. So I kind of figure, those funnel tools, the reason I don't use those is because powder sticks behind them, and I always have to wipe my surface up with a Swiffer anyway, and my paper, just to get it all off. So that's the main reason I don't use any fancy tool. But here, let me zoom in a bit. I am going to take my brush here and just go in here in a few areas where I can see a couple little extra pieces of powder that I don't want. I just tap and blow. Yeah, I think that's going to be good. Now I will get my heat tool warmed up and we'll melt this powder. All right, let's take a look. And now you can see the beautiful shine where the embossing happened. And I think I am going to cut this before ink blending. I think that's what I'm going to do. hold tight. I have this lined up to the best of my ability. My head's getting in the way here. I think this is good, and I think the stem's going to be good. So I'm going to run this through my die cut machine, and I will show you that real quick. I have my Anna Griffin Impress. This is the main original size machine, and we'll run it through. And I have my machine on the Craft Lazy Susan that Anna sells on her website. It's kind of cute because this little shape here, this little, that is mirrored here on both sides, and you can store your plates and other things underneath. So I haven't been showing my die cut machine as much. I use manual machines and electronic machines, and this is all I have room for as far as electric goes. So, all right, let's see how it did. I think it's going to be close. Actually, that's pretty good. I mean, I might have been a little off on my stem, but you know what? That's not bad. I think I'm going to keep going and doing the best that I can do with this. I think stems can be really tricky. In fact, that's where possibly stamping and embossing. No, but see, I wouldn't want to do that. Or using a template to frame it out. You know what? I should show you how to do that, because if that frustrates you, let me show you a workaround. Here's a little workaround. You can take what cut, right? And that's right there. I don't have my magnet to hold this down, and that's fine, because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to replace this friend, and I'm going to put it right inside the die cut so that we are more lined up, right? And that's, you know, that's pretty good. Pick it up, just to make sure that looks good. Let me restamp and emboss and then show you how to frame it out to get a better cut. You can do this with different colored cardstock. I feel like it would work better. But here, at least I can kind of see where the die is going to cut, and I can give this a try. Now, is this going to be perfect? Well, I mean, it might be okay. I just wanted to get my stem lined up a little more, and this is really thick paper, so this may not be the best way to do this, but then you're going to put it inside the die. It's going to fit like a puzzle piece. And then I think with this, I am going to have to use a shim. And I'm going to pop my metal shim underneath for just a little more pressure. Let's see if it works. I'm running it through. Well, we shall see. Let's see if anything shows up on the bottom. Yep, we cut. But is it a good cut? Oh, that's better, isn't it? Look at that. Oh, the thickness. Is it going to work? I mean, it's better. And now I have two. So what do you know? Now I got two. But that stem is a little bit better. I just think I wasn't super lined up, or I bent the stem. But that's actually really cute. I think that's going to work. And I do have this extra one if I decided I wanted to use an extra. All right, sometimes you gotta show the good with the bad. We're gonna ink blend on this. That's next. So now I've got my little friend here, and I'm just gonna pop it down so that it is held on to the grip mat. And now I can take my stencil, and I'm gonna make sure it says the etchings here, and I'm going to line this up for the first layer of color. And what's fun about this is you're gonna get it right in. It's not too hard to see. You just use your little outlines here, and it's gonna be right inside. And I think that's gonna be cool. Now I can press down on the grip mat, okay? And I'm going to basically do the same order going up, and I hope this looks good. But we're gonna start at the bottom with pink, and I'm gonna clean off my brush a little here. I just rub it on paper towel, like that, get most of whatever was on off. And we're going to start with the color Carnation and take a little bit of this ink. I'm going to tap it into my bristles and tap off a little. Make sure we're held down. And then we're going to bring this in at the bottom like that. Okay? That's color 1. All right. And now I'm going to grab color 2, which is Peachy. And let's get our orange brush. And we're going to pick up some Peachy. Again, I'll just tap off here a little. We're just going to come over here, get that little overlap between the two colors. Love that. Okay. And then the last color is the new Butter. This is a really great color from Simon Says Stamp. This was recently released. I think I might have been using Butter last time that I used this brush. And then we're just going to come in at the top and come down to Meat. So we're getting a little transition, more pure color at the top, like that. Now, let's get the other part of the stencil. Lift this up, okay, and bring this part in for the next layer. And again, I'm going to do the same colors. All I have to do is line it up right on those embossing lines, which is not too hard to do. And then we repeat. So, well, I guess I'll just grab a little from here and a little from here. And again, we'll come in. And you can change the weight, you know, how much you put down, right? I can go a little lighter here, kind of create more of a two-tone look. That's kind of fun. Get my orange brush. That. Bring that in like that, a little lighter, coming up like that. And we'll go a little lighter with the yellow with whatever's on the brush up here, like that. And that's how you can, you know, kind of change the look of even having, you know, the same type of color going up. You know, just change your, just change how much pressure you're putting down. I'll get a little deeper at the base. All right, so let's take a look at my leaf. Look how pretty that is. Now, sometimes in my studio light, the yellows do not look great, but you're gonna have to trust me. When you see the picture, oh, there we go. It really does turn out so nice. All right, I'm actually gonna cut out another one of these. I would use this one, but I feel like because of the glue or the embossing, it's not going to look as good because I want to build up some dimension for this, and then we're going to figure out the rest of the card. I went ahead and embossed and die cut Friendship in the same gold, and I used that template technique to line up the die cut, right? Pop the die in. I just wanted to save some time and then run that through, and that gave me a nice little cut. So I have those pieces, but then I also stamped the word our, and friendship means the world to me. I just cut these out with sentiment strips, and I will trim the sides down and try to figure out the arrangement. I may use them, I may not, I may stamp this on the inside. So let me get a panel for our card because I kind of want to use a little gold splatter and put it onto the panel. I used one of my Waffle Flower A2 dies to cut down a panel for my card, and this measures 3.5 by 4 3/4. And I'm going to grab, let's see here, a little paintbrush, a little block, and I'm just going to splatter on a little bit of this aqua pigment in Gilded, same color as my embossing powder. It's a wonderful product from Brutus Monroe for a little shine. And I'm just going to use a round brush for this. This is a cheap number 2 round brush. Tap a little off and tap some on, just a little. I don't need a ton here, and sometimes I just, oh, that was more blobs than I wanted. I think that's good. Just a little like that. It's not much, but it's going to dry and it's going to be very shiny, so I will let that dry before we move on. I went ahead and cut a little strip that is narrower than any strip that I have because this is such a delicate little greeting, and I'm just going to see if that is, yeah, it's a little off. You know what? I'm going to try it again. I'm just trying to get it lined up so that it's right in the center, and that way I don't have to worry about, you know, fussing with anything. But it's so small that I want it to be perfectly centered, and I keep missing it. Okay. All right, here we go. Here we go. We got it this time. Head's going to get in the way. We'll go a little higher than we think we should have to go. Pick it up. That looks like it's right in the middle. Okay, I know it seems like a lot. And it is. Okay. I don't even think I can really powder this. I'll just have to wash my mat off afterwards. Oh, I tell you, there's well, you know what? Even the simplest of designs can look so easy, but they take time. And I hope that's your takeaway today, but I enjoy it. You know, I enjoy the time. So let's go press. I'm not going to ink it more than once because it's so delicate. And then I'm just going to grab my powder and we'll add the powder to this. Now I don't know which side is what. Which side has, I can't see. Well, here's what we'll do. All right, we're going to go like this and we're going to put it on both sides and then we'll just see which one takes powder. Oh my gosh, okay. There we go. Let's get our powder. Is it this side? Nope. Is it this side? Yes, it is. And that is actually a very nice little bit, but I'm going to have to just clean it off a little. So I actually think this is going to work. I got a little cleaning to do, but that's going to be just fine. Super quick, nice and thin, and I will cut this using my little paper trimmer, and now I can grab some cardstock for the card. All right, I'm going to trim this real quick with my paper trimmer. Just go right about there and over here. So it's nice and small, right? This is a very small little greeting, and sometimes that takes a thinner little piece here so that that can nicely fit above here. And actually, you know what? I can take a little more off here, so I think I'm going to from each side, holding that and flipping it. I love using my little trimmer for this and cut. That just gives me a nice, clean, small. It's so small I can't even hold it. All right, moving on. I'm going to use creamsicle cardstock from Concord and 9th, and we're going to score this right at 5.5 to create a top folding note card. And I think this will be so pretty with the colors that I ink blended. All right, and I'm going to give that a nice press with my Teflon bone folder. And I will tape this closed so that it stays nice and flat while I'm adding my other elements. Okay, tape you down and press, because this is going to go right onto the center of the card, and then I will add these things. Let's zoom in a little bit here. And now you can see I have this nice, it's very subtle. There's just a bit of shine there, like that. I'm going to take the backers off. Oh, let's get it all off there. And, oh, it's getting a little sticky. Come here. Oh, Cathy. Okay. And I'm going to pop this right down onto the note card so we have that nice margin of space all the way around. Like that. I'm a little off. I don't know. I'm having a day. Okay, and what I want to do is I want to get a thin foam square to put I Cherish Our, so let me put that on the back of that. Actually, no, you know what? All I have to do to build this up a little is just take a tiny bit of this, I guess. I could just glue this on the back because that's the same size, and then I could just trim off the excess. So you know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be a little more economical here. All right, we'll just do a little glue. Pop this right on the edge. Pick it up. I don't want it popped up real high. I just wanted it to have a tiny bit more, right? So go like that, I guess. And is that lined up? I think it is. And then I guess I'll just come in here and trim. And if I wanted to, I could put one more layer under it, but this will give just a little more dimension to the piece. I don't want it to be higher than Friendship, if that makes sense. But what I would like to do here is make sure that this has a nice angle, and I'll add my liquid glue to the back. Okay, so we're going to cover this whole piece. And let me grab my tweezers so I can really see where I'm placing this down. Right about there. Oh, it's so pretty. Like that. Okay. And I will put my glass brick on here just to let that adhere. And then we can go ahead and figure out the placement of this. Now this won't make contact everywhere, but as long as I have my glue in the places where it will hold it on, we should be fine. I generally just put it everywhere, and I'm not going to squish this down before it's ready, right? So it will be, although I think I would like to go like that. There we go. Okay, pressing you down, and I want to have this be right about, well, that's what I'm not sure. I like, well, I'm torn now, because where I put it, it's going to stay, and I actually think maybe right there is going to be just fine. So there's going to be enough on here to kind of hold that nicely in place. Yeah, I think that's pretty. All right, does that look pretty straight? I think so. And let's let that glue adhere as well. All right, and now I'm just going to take the little I Cherish Our and just place it right above. Over the top, and try to get it as straight as possible so that can nestle right in like that. Okay, and I guess, I mean, if I was getting real fancy here, I could bring this here to just see, am I straight? Do I need to come up just a bit? I think it's going to be fine. And now I'm going to let that sit. Yeah, I think that works. All right, I'm going to grab a little bling to the card to finish it out. And to finish this off, just a few of these. This calls for confetti gold beads. I like this set because it has such little ones. These ones right here are so tiny. And well, let's see which hand I want to do this with. Let's pick up with the right hand. All right, pick it up, liquid glue. That's way too much. All right, I gently set that down. I was a little aggressive. Boop. We're trying. We're trying so hard. Oh, Cathy. All right. Boop. Maybe didn't have enough on that one. Well, if it falls off en route, boop, then we know I do have someone in mind for this card. Boop. And that, my friends, is the finished card project. So kind of went with a favorite approach, which is taking ink colors I like, taking one image, adding a greeting. But as you can see, sometimes a simple card has a lot of steps to it, right? I like how this turned out though, and hopefully this inspires you to dig through your stash, find a nice simple image that you could stamp, stencil, ink blend, and create a fun card today. You can find links to all of the products I used in today's video in the YouTube description box. I'll also have a blog post with photos and the full supply list as well. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, I'd love to have you, so hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss the next time I post. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day. To see more clean and simple card projects that maybe took a little longer than they should have, check out the 2 thumbnails I have linked for you below, and I'll see you in those videos.